Nothing like NASCAR announcing a new rule on February 3rd. Well, we've got the Xfinity Fastest Lap this year that is going to put 36 extra points on the table for the full season. What I'm going to do today is kind of look back at 2024 and see who would have won these points and how they may have affected the point standings. Daniel Hemrick started the season off winning the fastest lap point at Daytona, Josh Berry at Atlanta, Kyle Larson with his first at Las Vegas, and Ty Gibbs at Phoenix. Martin Truex Jr. got the fastest lap point at Bristol, Christopher Bell getting it at Circuit of the Americas, Kyle Larson once again at Richmond, and Bubba Wallace took the fastest lap point at Martinsville. Couple more fives on this one. We got Kyle Larson getting points at Texas and Kansas, with Brad Keselowski getting a point at Talladega and Kyle Busch getting a point at Dover. Keselowski again at Darlington, Ty Gibbs for his second fastest lap point of the year at Charlotte, Austin Cindric gets on the board at Gateway, and Kyle Larson again at Sonoma. Alex Bowman gets a bonus point at Iowa, Chase Elliott at New Hampshire, Tyler Reddick gets one at Nashville, and part-timer Shane Van Gisbergen steals one at Chicago. Blaney with his first fastest lap point of the year at Pocono, where Denny Hamlin goes back-to-back at Indianapolis and the second Richmond race. Martin Truex Jr. appears again with a point at Michigan. And to close out the regular season, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got a point at Daytona, and Chase Briscoe got one at the second Darlington race. Kicking off the playoffs, and no playoff driver got a fastest lap win in the first round. Carson Hocevar got one at the Atlanta race, Shane Van Gisbergen appears again at Watkins Glen, and John Hunter Nemechek gets a surprising point at the second Bristol race. Second round of the playoffs, Christopher Bell, playoff driver, gets himself a bonus point at Kansas, but the next two races are two non-playoff drivers, Shane Van Gisbergen again at Talladega, and Austin Dillon taking one at the Roval. And in the round of 8, 2 of the 3 races went to playoff drivers. Christopher Bell got a point at Las Vegas, Denny Hamlin got one at Homestead, and Corey LaJoie at Martinsville. And in the championship finale, Joey Logano got the bonus point for the fastest lap. So see, in this format he even would have won the championship. Even year Logano strikes again. In total, 23 Cup drivers earned fastest lap points, which I thought was really interesting. Quite the spread throughout the field. Kyle Larson led the field with 5, Shane Van Gisbergen and Denny Hamlin, 3 apiece along with Bell. Ty Gibbs and Martin Truex Jr. got 2 points, Keselowski with 2 points, and then a slew of drivers who got 1 point. I'm not going to go through all these because you just heard me say everybody's name, but very, very spread out among the field. Alright, so did these bonus points actually affect anything? Well, there were 2 cases in the Cup Series this year where this actually would have made a difference. At the end of the regular season, Ryan Blaney had 756 points and Denny Hamlin had 755. Denny's 2 fastest lap bonus points to Blaney's 1 would have tied them at 757 points, but Hamlin would have won the tiebreaker due to having an extra win, 3 to Blaney's 2. So Hamlin would have moved up to 6th in points before the playoff reset, giving him an extra bonus point that he would have been able to carry through the rounds with him. And for our second case, we got to move a little bit deeper in the field. Daniel Hemrick with his fastest lap point would have tied Eric Jones for 28th in points. Now, he would have lost the tiebreaker due to Eric Jones having a higher finish than him, but it's still interesting to see that it actually came into play somewhere else. So how did things look in the Xfinity Series? Well, Chandler Smith destroyed everybody, getting 8 fastest lap bonus points. Cole Custer came in at 5. Ty Gibbs earned 3, but he probably wouldn't have been eligible for the points since he wasn't a full-time Xfinity Series driver, but that obviously wasn't a rule since it didn't exist last year, so I'm going to put him on here anyways. Shane Van Gisbergen also getting 3, so 3 in Cup and 3 in Xfinity, thought that was interesting. Sam Mayer, Eric Almirola, Justin Allgaier, and AJ Allmendinger all with 2 points apiece. Now we got a couple guys who grabbed 1 point: Jeremy Clements, Jordan Anderson in a part-time ride, Jesse Love, Honeyman Jr., Christopher Bell, again another guy who probably would have been ineligible for the award, but put him on here just for simplicity's sake, and Ryan Sieg. There were no cases that I found that this would have had any effect on point standings in the Xfinity Series, whether it was regular season or playoff rounds. And last but not least, I wanted to drop down to the Truck Series and just see who would have won the most points for this. So Christian Eckes with 7, cleaned the field up. Corey Heim in second place with 4. Ty Majeski won the fastest lap award 3 times. Kyle Busch took 2, again, probably wouldn't be eligible, but just thought I would put that out there. Lane Riggs got 2. Jack Wood in the part-time 91 got 1. Rajat Karuth with 1. Zane Smith, again, another guy who probably wouldn't have been eligible, got 1. Grant Enfinger got 1, and Tyler Ankrum to round out the field. There was only 10 winners in the Truck Series, so not as spread out as it was in the Cup or Xfinity Series. I know they do have less races, but I thought it was a lot more of a compact group of guys who got them in the Truck Series. How do you think this rule is going to play out this year? Do you think it's actually going to affect anything? Do you think there's going to be any close calls with this? Please leave a comment on what you think about this. I mean, me personally, I wish we would go back to, a bonus point or a couple bonus points for leading the most laps, maybe even for the pole, but I think this is a step in the right direction. I know it's probably just getting in here because Xfinity is sponsoring it, but I thought I would go over this stuff, and yeah, hope you enjoyed.